Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, we're going to talk some boxing, and we're going to talk about Dimitri Bivol versus Castillo, Alexander Usyk versus Chad Witherspoon, Maria Juarez versus Carolina Duor. And we're also going to talk about Jessica McCaskill versus Farias. All right, so let me get into it. How's everybody doing today, man? How's everybody doing today? So those were the weekend fights. Oh yeah, there was also a fight with Josh Warrington at featherweight. And Warrington defended his featherweight title against some dude. So we'll talk about that as well. And we'll get into it. All right. So the weekend fights, man. The weekend fights. Most of these fights were mismatches, to be honest with you. What's up, my dude? XX Raw 2013 XX. You're doing great. Good to hear, man. Hope it continues that way. Can you make me a moderator? How do I do that, man? How do I do that? That's the question. I don't know how to make you a moderator. Let's see. I don't really have a way to do that. Let's see. Nah, I don't really see a way to do that. Here, I'm looking at the controls, but I don't see a way. Yeah, I'll try and figure it out later on. I know there are guys with chats, and they have moderators and so on. Yeah. Uh, but I at present don't know how to do that. But what I can do is I can have people call in, probably via Skype or some other methodology. Call in so you guys can actually talk on this stream. So then we can have more conversations. All right. So let's get into the weekend fights here. Um, I can't really say any of the fights were fights to look forward to. All of them were pretty much one-sided. Okay, they were one-sided fights, all of them. Alexander Usyk versus Chad Witherspoon was a one-sided fight in which Usyk was pretty much doing whatever he wanted to do. Witherspoon was just too slow. He threw a pretty decent jab, but for the most part, he was countered most of the time by Alexander Usyk. In the end of the seventh, beginning of the eighth, he retired. Okay, he didn't want to go on. So we had a sort of like a no-man's situation. It is what it is. And a by note, Spong apparently was cleared by VADA. So maybe the A sample came up dirty in September, but the B sample probably was cleared because in October he was cleared. So he came up clean. As to the other fight, Dimitri Bivol versus is it Lubin Castillo? It's a guy that faced Marcus Brown at some point. Let's see what his name is. His name. Why am I not seeing it? That's crazy. Well, anyway, Dimitri Bivol versus I'm not seeing Bivol either. What the fuck is going on, man? Why is this shit happening? I'm seeing the woman boxing and what's going on? Life is so weird at times. Things just strange things happen, and you're like, what the fuck? You don't have the two main events? How's that possible? There it is. Lenin Castillo. Now, Lenin Castillo, he had faced Marcus Brown. I think he dropped Marcus Brown. Okay. Marcus Brown still went on to have a unanimous decision, but he had dropped him. And so he became a mandatory for Dmitry Bivol's WBA belt. All right. So Bivol defended it. Now Bivol is making the statement that Castillo wasn't engaging him enough in that fight. I don't agree with that at all. It's not that he wasn't engaging him, but it was up to Bivol to make the fight happen. And Bivol does a lot of things repetitiously. So he'll double up, triple up the jab to the head, and then he's trying to bait Castillo into throwing a punch so he can counter. The thing is, if Castillo's not throwing punches at you, that's when you have to have an entrance and exit strategy, meaning you should be able to target Bivol's body, Castillo's body, get in there and start to dominate him off of angles. You get in. I noticed that Bivol doesn't really roll and dip. Most of these Eastern European fighters, they don't actually bob and weave and dip and slip and slide. What they actually do is they use their feet. So they're really great at moving their feet and distance controlling things and throwing combinations. I noticed they don't move their head much. And that's another thing I thought was interesting. So Bivol, he gets in there, he throws some beautiful combinations. He was able to drop Castillo in the 6 with a beautiful counter right, pull counter. But the thing about it is, he's kind of limited in the sense that if you're not pressing the action or pressing the fight, he doesn't know how to press the action in such a way that he can dominate you. And I've noticed that. Now, there's one thing that's very important, I thought, and that is that Castillo was significantly bigger than Bivol. Bivol could have been Castillo's son. I mean, Bivol was just, Castillo was twice the size, his hands, his head, everything was twice the size of Bivol. So that was pretty impressive. But still, nonetheless, Dmitry Bivol, he needs to be able to get in there, sometimes slip, not just slip punches, but sometimes roll under punches. In other words, you have to sometimes anticipate a counter. If the guy's a counter puncher, you have to anticipate a counter. So that means you go in there and you're defensively responsible. You have an entrance and exit strategy. So you throw your punches or you throw a punch. Make sure you're either blocking the punches or you're getting out of the way of the punches, which means you're either rolling under or dipping out of the way of punches or slipping punches afterwards, you know. So you may slide in, for example. He doesn't slide in, but he kind of just uses his jab, comes off the jab. You can also change levels. Changing levels will make your opponent miss you. So all of these things he should be able to do, and he's not really doing those things, especially when your opponent's not engaging you. This is your time now to crash him and so on. You can see it with Demetrius Andrade versus Solanke. When Solanke went defensive, Andrade started raining a whole set of blows on him. It didn't matter that they were hitting or landing. It's just that he's staying more active, and the other guy, he's not doing anything. Now, Bivol was throwing the jab and peppering him with the jab all the time, even though the guy was blocking most of the jabs. But that's not enough. You have to start throwing combinations. You have to start dominating the fighter. And if the fighter's shelling up now and really, really trying to be defensive, that's a totally different story. But he would just kind of feint, just stand around feinting a lot. And feinting don't do nothing if you just keep on feinting all the time. You have to make your opponent bite the feints. Otherwise, they're useless feints, right? So he has to feint as if he's going to throw a shot and then throw the shot. And I think this is the difference between Floyd Mayweather and counterpunches. I try to explain to people, Floyd actually will press the action. If you are easy food for him and you ain't doing shit, he going to press the action and he's going to literally beat you up really bad. I don't know any fighter who's been on the defensive that Floyd didn't just dominate and probably even stop. Okay? Once you're going on the defensive, that's when he goes on the offensive. You know, Keith Thurman's the same kind of dude. So that's something that Bivol will have to work on, especially when they're talking about Floyd Mayweather, you know, having a career like Floyd and so on. So that was his fight. It was a dominant win. He dropped Lenin Castillo with a beautiful counter right. Bevo doesn't really have a lot of power. He has great placement. He throws a lot of combinations, but he can also pot shot and counterpunch. But he's mostly in the combinations. He's very fast. He's very quick with his hands. With that, it made me assess Bevo versus Canelo. After thinking about it, I think Canelo can beat Bevo. I think it's going to be a good fight. It would be a good fight for Bevo, and a good fight for Canelo. I think though it'd be a better look for Canelo because Bevo's not that big a dude. Like if Canelo faces Bevo, Bevo is absolutely a small light heavyweight. He is a very small light heavyweight. He'd be perfect for Canelo. I think that the bigger guys like Bitterbiev, Gavordik even would be a good opponent for Canelo. But Bitterbiev particularly is a he's a really big dude like Kovalov. Heavy puncher too, but mostly big. He's really big. And Bitterbiev is not known for any sort of flaws so far. I haven't really examined him in the fullness of it, so I need to have a good look at Bitterbiev, and I'll tell you if if Canelo could take advantage of certain situations in there. But with Bevo actually that's a good fight, and I remember Bevo calling out Canelo and saying, "Hey man, if Canelo wants to have a fight with me, let's have it," because that was when the Kovalov negotiations were falling through. And Bevo's about the size that Canelo can face him. He's not very big. He's not a big light heavyweight. That would be a good fight for Canelo, I think, and a good fight for Bevo. And Canelo could win that fight. It's possible. Um, so I just thought about that, and because there's things Canelo do in there that Bevo don't do. He just doesn't do. He needs to get that added to his game. Right. Those were the two main events. If somebody got hurt in the fights, also, I think Patrick Day, he severely hurt in a knockout where Charles Conwell knocked him out. So we have to, guys, got to keep praying for this dude because he's in critical condition right now. So you guys send up your prayers for Patrick Day. All right, let's talk about the women's boxing. So Jessica McCaskill versus Erica Annabelle Farias 2 happened on that DAZN card. I haven't really had the opportunity to see it. They said it was a stinker because Farias would just keep on clinching like crazy. McCaskill couldn't work on the inside, so she was more arm punching, which is a typical McCaskill thing. They said it was a sloppy fight. So, not necessarily do I want to see that, but I'm still looking around for it somewhere. I haven't seen it, so I can't really tell you much about that. McCaskill again got the win over Farias. So, the rematch, which was for Farias to get back a belt, she didn't get it back. Okay. I heard there was rabbit punching and stuff. It was kind of ugly. With Mariana Juarez, who is Barbie, versus Carolina Raquel Duer, it was a one-sided fight. Raquel Duer was just not a classy boxer. She's like she just wings punches coming in like Amir Khan and so on. And literally wings punches coming in. Mariana Juarez was the classy one. Her jab was really on point, particularly. And she didn't really have a powerful right hand, but her jab was really on point, and that pretty much won her the fight. She just never got into a scrap with Duer. It wasn't like a scrap out. It was just a one-sided outboxing. It was a masterclass by Mariana Juarez on Carolina Duer. I mean, there are things about women's boxing I'm not really big on, and just seeing women just kind of fling hands, it's not my thing. And so Duer she was a world champion, believe it or not. She really did not impress me at all. Juarez did impress me, even though she didn't have the power to stop Duer. She caught Duer coming in. She doesn't really use uppercuts. She has good defense, though. She has this kind of reminds me a little bit of Danny Garcia's defense, sort of cage defense. So no matter how you try to throw body shots and stuff, her elbows gets in the way of it. She kind of bends downward, protects her head and protects her body. So that was basically the fight. No big set of fainting or anything. It was just basic. Mariana Juarez just kind of just basically outboxing Carolina Raquel Dewar with her jab, particularly. She has a really good jab. She would walk her down, but she just didn't have the finish. In terms of body shots and stuff, she landed one or two good body shots, but for the most part, she just walked her down. And Dewar's just wild, man. She just be throwing punches. She just throw a whole bunch of combinations and run behind it and be like, dude, you just set up to get knocked out. But Mariana Juarez just didn't know what to do to knock her out like that. So it is what it is. So that was that fight. So the weekend fights, at least the prominent one. Oh, I didn't talk about Josh Warrington. So Josh Warrington, apparently I'm not seeing it right now, which is interesting. So Warrington faced some dude. I'm trying to refresh this. Maybe I'll get it. Apparently they don't have it here. But Josh Warrington, he beat some dude. I can't remember the dude's name. And he knocked him out. And then he called out, I believe, he called out some dude who just became champion in the featherweight division. The guy was interim, and I think he's graduated to real champion because the actual champion has vacated. And he also mentioned Shakur Stevenson, but if he wins a belt. And he talked about, I think he talked about Leo Santa Cruz moving up, Gary Russell Jr. moving up. So, these are the two that are left. I personally, some guy named Conley or something like that, I can't remember what the name of the guy was. But he wanted to have a fight with him than Shakur Stevens, a name guy. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm not impressed by that either. I'm not like, whoa, yeah, he called out that champion. No. It's not interesting at all. So that was the weekend fights anyway. Were they great? No. None of them were actually impressive. People talking about Usyk because he called out Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. He called them all out, as he's supposed to do. I think that people are talking about him beating Wilder. I don't think he beats Wilder at all. Not at all. Not at all. I don't think so. His performance was okay. But he had a guy in front of him who was slow as hell. The guy's not even on top tier quality, right? He's never been in there with a Parker or a White. Even a Dominic Brazil, just to see the height and size, how that would work. I mean, a Charles Martin, a Chisora, somebody who, has some sort of credibility to them. What would he do if the guy just keeps coming, like a Chisora? A Dillian White would be a great one. I don't know if he survives against a Dillian White, but Joseph Parker would be a perfect matchup for him. See how he does against a Joseph Parker. So I mean that looking at these fights so far, I'm not impressed by any of the guys, to be honest with you. None of the fights really impressed me. Mainly because I knew there were mismatches. Did I expect Bivol to get Castillo out of there? No. And he dropped him. But like I said before, I realized there are elements in his game he doesn't have. He's more of a counterpuncher type. And he throws the jab to bait, really. But he needs to mix the jab up more to the body. Like I said before, you have to also have offense and let the opponent know he has to respond because I'm coming to get you. And that's one thing that Floyd and all these greats like Pernell Whitaker and they would do. They don't just sit back and counterpunch. If you look at Mayweather versus Pacquiao, Mayweather went out there and started taking the fight to Pacquiao first before Pacquiao started responding, and then Floyd could counterpunch him. I think Bivol needs to do that. He needed to go out there, hurt Castillo, let him know I'm in here, and then Castillo would respond. And Castillo did respond a couple of later rounds for a little bit, try to walk him down, hit him, and stuff. But for the most part, he wasn't doing that. And he was the much bigger dude, you could see. So you have to take the fight to this dude and say, I'm going to whoop your ass. You're going to have to respond. That's what you have to do. And you do it smart. So you do it off of angles. You do it off of lines. You do it with, they call it help movement, but it's also waist movement, because dipping and bobbing and weaving and slipping involves your waist movement as well. And also your lower body movement, because you have to be able to bend those knees, boy. Get changing levels and all of that. And you would see more of that game in Demetrius Andrews' game at middleweight. But I think, again, just to reemphasize, I think Canelo has a good chance of beating Bivol. Now I have to see that fight and seeing what Bivol can do. Intangible Boxing, what's happening, my dude? Shout out to Intangible Boxing. Intangible Boxing says, I'll do a face reveal if Claressa lasts one round against Bud, giving effort. And they will do it, no headgear at their preferred weight. Hold on. No weight limit. Nah, we'll do it with headgear. We do it with headgear. They're both top tier boxers. Top tier boxers. So we don't want them coming out of a fight, with any unnecessary injuries. And I honestly, now that I think about it, I think Claressa could give Terrence some problems because she's so much bigger than him. She's significantly bigger than him, and Claressa, that's what, you remember, women don't really spar more other women. They don't have a bunch of women to spar. So Claressa has been sparring guys. She even sparred Errol Spence Jr. All right. She's been sparring guys. That's what she do. So I think that once she gets her sparring to build up her punch resistance, I think she can handle Terrence. I think so. I don't think she'd win. But you'd be surprised to see Claressa walking down Terrence, and Terrence had the box on the outside. You'd be a little bit surprised about that. We talking 3 rounds, but there's a lot. There's a lot of things I want to say, but I won't go there. It's boxing, and a lot of you guys turn off your brain and you think it's a woman going against a man. Oh, the man's going. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you guys are talking about it, because I followed up to see if any response came. Somebody did respond to what I said. He was like, "You joking or trolling?" And I didn't say anything to it. Claressa did respond to another post with what's the kid's name? The kid that got hurt, Patrick Day. Patrick Day got hurt, and she said, this sport ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? And I responded to that. But so far, they haven't responded to me there. But I'm going to keep on pressing the issue, and talking to different people, and getting this thing to go. Because I think it's an interesting idea that you guys, that these styles actually, the topic that he started talking about. I think that women's boxing is still in its infant stages, but I think that, because there's a couple of things I need to say. Most of the women in women's boxing took up boxing in the earlier years. They took it up. They didn't grow up doing boxing. They took it up late in their careers. Some of these women started at 26. Some of them started at 30 and all of that, right? But Claressa Shields is a different breed. She started earlier than most women. So she's like one of the products of women who actually know how to box, right? Like I just told you about Barbie Juarez versus the Carolina Durer. Carolina Durer, she just fling hands. She just throw hands. Whereas Barbie, she got a good jab, so she would jab and pivot out the way, or she'd be coming off the jab. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Listen. Intangible Boxing. Lucina Riker, first of all, could she box? Right? You're talking about women's boxing has evolved so much further from that. Who the fuck was Lucina Riker? Did she start boxing when she was a kid? No. All right. If y'all really want to be real, you're talking about somebody back in the 90s that was fucking Let's see, where are we now? 2019. Okay, the fucking 90s was like fucking 30 years ago, motherfucker. That's 30 years ago. Y'all pulling something from way back when women used to fling hands. All right, even Layla Ali, she would just fling hands at times, where she should have maintained range and pivot. She didn't do that shit. Okay, Ann Wolf was only known for knocking out this big tall woman, right? That's the shit that they always remember. Ann Wolf also could not fucking box. Okay? Even she trained what's the kid's name? Who got fucked up and knocked out by Canelo? Whatever the kid's name is. And he can't fucking box. His thing is stamina and durability. Okay? This is a totally fucking different era. Okay? Stop with the old bullshit. Okay? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This is a different fucking era, man. There are actually women that go to the Olympics now. Shit, man. I'm tired of hearing the bullshit. Y'all quoting Lucille Riker. Who the fuck was she? You get what I'm saying? You saying she was greatest in boxing? Who gives a fuck? That's like saying in bare knuckle brawl, what the motherfucker name was, you know, he was the greatest bare knuckle brawl. Who gives a fuck? They used to fight like their hands were down. They used to roll their hands, and they just scrap. Who gives a fuck about those guys? They didn't use science, man. Like I said before, and y'all just don't get it. Y'all just so stupid. Boxing as a sport evolves, motherfucker. What part of that do you not understand? Plus, Clarissa Shields has sparred a lot of these dudes already. She sparred them. Because that's how she get her work. And Ann Wolf will get her ass beat by Clarissa Shields. She would get her ass beat by Clarissa Shields. Hands down. Y'all could be an Ann Wolf fan how much you want. She'll outbox Ann Wolf. Maybe even stop her ass. Y'all making it sound like this. Y'all making it sound like, you know, Ann Wolf is the greatest thing. Man, y'all get caught up in so much shit sometimes, man. I mean, Kush's smaller than Ann Wolf. And she still whoop her ass. Ann Wolf was what? Ann Wolf was I think Ann Wolf was what was Ann Wolf? Let me check that weight class. Let me see what Ann Wolf's weight class was. Shit. Don't got me looking up Ann Wolf right now. Look up Ann Wolf. Come on, man. Come on. Ann Wolf. Here she is. You call her brown sugar. She was a super middleweight, just like Clarissa. She was a super middleweight. Man. Like, really, man? Ann Wolf's thing was conditioning and mentality. She would bring it. She not even as tall as Clarissa. She was 5'9". Clarissa is what? From Waco, Texas. Clarissa Shields. Hold on. Man, y'all crazy, man. Y'all just talk some whack ass shit, man. I swear to God, man. Y'all talk like y'all don't know shit about boxing, man. What you talking about, man? Even Coach Shelton Harris, he more into MMA and shit. He realizes Clarissa would at least last 3 rounds with this dude. At least. Not at most. At least. He thinks she would take a lot of punishment, but I think she got good enough defense to handle that. She ain't gonna get no punishment. Man, it's fundamentals to boxing, motherfucker. Clarissa like to bang and she like to walk down a woman, but it's not like she can't box. You saw it with Christina Hammer. And she will get caught with a couple of shots by Terrence. But Terrence ain't putting her out. Fuck no. Terrence ain't putting shit out. Terrence gonna be on the back foot at times. She's a fucking super middleweight, motherfucker. Super middleweight. Facing a blown up super lightweight. Man, seriously, man. I'm not saying Terrence won't beat her. Obviously, he would. He got the skills. I think he got better skills than Carissa Shields. But come on, man. Okay, can Terrence Crawford knock out Errol Spence? Because if he could knock out Errol Spence, he can knock out Carissa Shields. All right? That's how I look at it. Carissa's a big ass motherfucker. She better than Ann Wolfe. Ann Wolfe versus Terrence Crawford. That's how you guys have to look at it, because your dumbasses respect Ann Wolfe. You know she gonna keep coming. Right? So how the fuck Carissa, who got better skills than Ann Wolfe, she gonna get knocked out by Terrence Crawford in 3? Like really? Like really? She got better skills. She probably stronger than Ann Wolfe. She might look feminine, but she probably stronger than Ann Wolfe. If I had to pick between Carissa and Ann Wolfe in a fight, I pick Carissa all day, all day, all day, all day, all day. All day. Okay? I'm not saying she's the best boxer in the world. I'm not even saying she's better than some men boxers. I'm not saying all of that shit. I'm just saying she will go 3 rounds with Terrence Crawford. For sure. For sure. Okay? Y'all all up in y'all cojones, man. Y'all in this macho bullshit. I'm a realist. I talk boxing. I'm not into this bullshit, this macho bullshit, this chauvinistic macho bullshit. When Carissa go 3 rounds and even walk down Terrence Crawford at a certain point in time, y'all motherfucking ass gonna be humbled. Humbled. Look at that fucking super middleweight and a big ass super lightweight, and you gonna tell me the super lightweight gonna knock out the super middleweight? Fuck out of here. She smart bigger guys much bigger guys than Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. What the fuck are you talking about? And she just prepped for Terrence Crawford with bigger dudes. Then she get in the ring with him. Now what happens when he lands his best fucking punch and she ain't going nowhere? And she just keeps coming. Like y'all not thinking, man. Y'all not thinking. Yeah, we know it's estrogen and all that shit. We know that women, generally speaking, are not stronger than men. I guarantee you this. There are many women stronger than me. Now, for weight, for size, pound for pound, men are stronger than women. But don't do like, oh, all women I'm stronger than all women because I'm a man. Fuck out of here with that shit. Y'all with this chauvinistic bullshit. Oh, because he's a man, he could knock out her. He'll definitely gonna knock out. That motherfucker. What do you think Carissa Shields is? You think she's just a little softy? This motherfucker being punched in the face by guys. A lot. She's tough. There's a reason why she goes through those women and is able to bully them. She's tough. And we're talking about somebody separated by 1, 2, 3, 4 fucking weight classes. She's 4 fucking weight classes bigger than Terrence Crawford. You serious, man? Are you fucking serious? So what? You gonna tell me Terrence Crawford could beat a heavyweight woman as well? He gonna knock her out too? It's possible. If you catch her right and she don't have good defense. But Carissa Shields was a 2-time Olympic medalist. That means something. Carissa don't just bang crazily. She still has, from the women I saw, that just throw hands like a windmill and they just wing it from wide out. She don't do that shit. She a little bit more surgical and methodical with her shit. Okay? Y'all got a wrong perception. Y'all need to have a reality check on y'all. But you know what? We're working on that. We're going to work on it. We're going to see if we can get these two in the ring. I'm pretty sure Terrence Crawford would say, I don't know if I could knock out Carissa Shields. He wouldn't say, oh man, I would. That's a question. You know, unless he got an ego, in which case, we really should have the fight then. You know, in fact, anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm gonna keep with the argument. I'm going to keep with the facts. We're going to have headgear because these motherfuckers are superstars. All right? Got to have headgear. Okay? Not that it really counts because headgear don't do shit. You get hit with a headgear, it kind of absorbs some of the punch, but for the most part, it's like a glove. It don't really make a difference. You're still going to get knocked upside the head. We're not using 16-ounce gloves. We're using 10-ounce gloves because we're talking about a weight class way above. Now, if it's an exhibition, that means you could come in any fucking weight you want, which means she's gonna be in an ideal weight, which is super middleweight. So you're allowing her to come in as a super middleweight or a light heavyweight because Clarissa, she's a big dude. She's a big lady. So she's coming in 175, something somewhere there. All right, Terrence could come in 150 something. Terrence is a strong motherfucker, but he ain't no fucking welterweight. Okay, he's not a full-fledged welterweight. All right, he's strong as an ox, but he's not a full-fledged welterweight. Okay. Errol Spence, on the other hand, he ain't gonna dust Clarissa either in 3 rounds, but he will work her, because Errol works the body, and Clarissa talked about facing Errol, and she said she couldn't bully him. She still hung with him though. Don't get it fucking twisted. She said she couldn't bully him, but she hung with him, and they sparred. So if she could spar fucking Errol Spence, you telling me she can't go 3 rounds with Terrence? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping. She ain't dusting nobody though. She talking about she would dust Keith Thurman and she put her in the ring with Gennady. Get the fuck out of here, man. You know, that talk is crazy. But what I just said is absolutely reasonable. Given the knowledge she has on boxing, her size compared to Terrence Crawford, ain't no fucking way. Like I said, I can put money on that. I would love to bet you guys on that and see that actually go down. I'm going to collect so much money from you dumbass, chauvinistic motherfuckers. I'm going to collect so much money from your ass. Is there someone you're trying to please? Clarissa Shields won't have the... Let me see here. Clarissa will do nothing against Bud. Clarissa, I guarantee, does not have Ndongo's punch resistance. Psst. Motherfucker, she don't even reach like Ndongo. What the fuck you... Why are you talking even about Ndongo? Ndongo is not... First of all, Ndongo ain't even a welterweight. Man, shut up, man. Come on, this is basic science that a 5th grader can break. Okay, talk that shit. Remember the last time you talk shit and then you backtrack on that shit, talking about how Errol Spence would knock out Sean Porter. That's what you said, motherfucker. And you backtrack on that shit. You better not backtrack on this, okay? Clarissa Shields won't have the reaction time. Man, shut the fuck up. You don't know what she will have and what she don't have. All you got to do is train for speed, motherfucker. Terrence Crawford trained for speed for Amir Khan. You doing like this fighter just gonna go in there against Terrence Crawford and get dusted. Listen, Ninja, there's something called preparation. You prepare for a fighter. All right, all professionals do it. She would prepare for Terrence, and you would be shocked because y'all just thinking woman versus man. Y'all ain't thinking she's bigger than him, like significantly bigger than him, significantly bigger than that motherfucker. What the fuck you talking about, man? Boxing has not evolved. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up, because I did a video on that shit. I did a video on how boxing evolved. And I showed an example with Saul Mbe. The fuck you talking about? I showed how one particular style of boxing has evolved over time. Significantly. Motherfucker. I guess you one of those who think Sugar Ray Leonard would beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. I think you one of those that think that Marvin Hagler, right, he would beat a Canelo Alvarez. Marvin Hagler, man, I even want to start with that. Okay? Don't be disrespectful, man. Don't be disrespectful to the boxers, man. Clarissa Shields also on a man scale has feathers in her fist. And shut the fuck up. So everybody was saying Sean Porter had feather fists. Everybody say Andrew Ward had feather fists. How come Andrew Ward stopped Sergey Kovalev? How come Sean Porter was able to give Errol Spence the fight he got? How? Think about what I'm saying. Y'all always don't understand. Y'all always lock up in... Let me tell you the shit that y'all lock up in. Power. Y'all always talk about power. So this guy's feather fisted. Power. Y'all don't think about accumulation of punishment, accuracy of punches, intensity of a fighter, range. Y'all lock up on always. Y'all always talk the same shit over and over again. Power. And then y'all talk about reach. Y'all talk about the jab. All of y'all neophytes. Y'all don't talk about the real stuff in boxing. Because see, y'all don't really understand boxing like that. Y'all talking about boxing from the perspective of a spectator. You're not talking about boxing like if you have to go in a ring and box. So y'all talk all kinds of shit. And I had to put up with that. I'm thinking to myself, man, how do we educate the fans on what's really going on in that fucking ring? How do we educate the fans on that? You know, why do you have to be a boxing trainer or have to be somebody who's training somebody to be able to understand what's going on in that square circle? That's the thing that bothers me. Now, people back in the day used to understand boxing like that, right? But those people now turn around and today they compare their era to this era and talk about their era superior to this era when it just changed. A lot of things became, what should I say? They became more simplified, but at the same time, more precise in certain respects. In other respects, we lost stuff that really was good. It used to make boxing really good. But on the other hand, we also gained stuff and refined stuff from the past. And that's what I'm talking about. Now, don't compare fucking Ann Wolfe to Clarissa Shields. Just don't do it. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Right? Because Ann Wolfe never really boxed. All right? She boxed, but I mean, the Ali, like the Layla Ali days, you know, like this is the funny thing. I hear D-Style saying, I used to watch the Layla Ali because she looked like Muhammad Ali. Man, that motherfucker used to bang, man. If somebody started bringing the heat to her, she started bang. Ali never used to do that shit, man. Okay? So I listen to these guys talk and like, they haven't really seen those fights. They have an impression of Layla Ali, but they really haven't seen those fights in a while. But the shit was like primitive, man. Primitive shit. Okay? And we talk about Clarissa Shields is primitive. Listen, Hannah Gabriels, man. She got skills. She actually does. Amanda Serrano got some skills. All right? They got skill. All right? Real skill. Right? Clarissa Shields, she showed at least she could use the jab. You know, she could change levels. She could bob and weave. She could slip punches. Get her punches in against Christina Hammer. Christina Hammer obviously being repetitive and doing things over and over again. But Hammer still caught her sometimes with the 1-2. You know what I'm saying? The basic 1-2. That's all Hammer had. Okay? My point anyway is this. Clarissa bullies women because she can. But she also can box a bit. Okay? And she showed that against Hammer a bit. But like I said before, to knock out a fighter, that fighter has to cooperate with you to get that knockout. Meaning, that fighter, if that fighter, like what happened with Bivol and Castillo. Castillo didn't want to get dropped. He didn't want to get knocked out. So Castillo wasn't cooperating with Bivol. All right? And Floyd Mayweather, I'm going to use Floyd again. Floyd Mayweather versus Carlos Rios. All right? Carlos Rios was on total defensive mode. And he was doing everything. Floyd tried everything to knock his ass out. He couldn't knock him out. Because when the fighter don't want to get knocked out, they just come in the ring to survive. You ain't knocking out shit. They got to cooperate with you. They got to cooperate with you. They have to bite your bait that you give them. They got to bite on the bait. Or, as you pursuing them, you got to catch them in a trade or something. Or their defense got to be down. Right? But even, you know, a relatively seasoned pro in the boxing can actually survive in a fight. And we've seen guys who lose match after match after match and never got knocked out in their career, as mainly because these guys, they had the defense and they just stuck to their defense. They didn't try to throw any offense. So I'm saying before, and I keep on talking about it because a lot of you guys, you talk boxing, but you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. A lot of you guys be talking stuff, right? About how she gonna get knocked out by Terrence Crawford. That shit ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Right? She got enough size to not be knocked out by Terrence Crawford. She has enough separation of weight to not be. I'm not saying he don't beat her ass. Not beat her up, but beat her ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying that she dominates him or anything. I never said that. I just said there are gonna be moments when she will walk him down and you will see him on the back foot. And I can see that because of her skill set. And even when she's boxing correct, that jab gonna be on point at certain points in time. Right? And if she keeps her defense, as she can, relatively tight, and she can also slip and slide, she can bob and weave a bit. I've noticed that. Those are tools to get past the jab she could utilize. Right? And while people get knocked out by short chopping shots, you still need to have some kind of space to get that shot off. Meaning you have to move off on the back foot and then catch a guy with the shot. You still need space to get that leverage properly. Right? And Terrence will probably try to go to her body. He's not going to try and headhunt. He's trying to go to the body first and mix it up from body to head. He's going to use his feints and stuff to try and throw her off. You know what I'm saying? And initially, she might be on the back foot. But as she's able to withstand some of his punishment or some of the punches, she realizes she going to move to the front foot and start to aggressively go at him. So I see that. And it's 3 rounds. It's not like that's 9 minutes. Right? She's obviously going to make it past that. I'm sure she sparred guys and gone past that. Many guys. Right? Because mostly her sparring partners are going to be guys. It's not going to be women. And they're not going to take it easy on her because it's Clarissa Shields and she's a woman. And guys don't do that shit. They're not going to go all out because sparring's for different reasons, but I'm just saying. Right? A lot of people don't give women respect for entering a male-dominated sport. And they step into that arena. You better be tough, man. You better be a tough ass motherfucker. Otherwise, you get dropped multiple times. You go into the lion's den and you just go, no, man, she can handle her stuff. And a lot of women can handle their stuff inside the ring with guys. I heard, I was trying to remember where I heard about, because people feel that women, they have to take, guys got to take it easy on. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's another fighter. And you better treat him like that. Kill or be killed, motherfucker. Kill or be killed. It don't matter as a woman. It's kill or be killed. And that's what you guys just don't understand. Which you prefer? All right. You prefer to be shot by a criminal bandit that's a guy, or shot by a criminal bandit that's a woman? Shit's same. The shit's same. If you're in a street fight meaning you have to defend yourself. All right? You have to defend yourself. Let me tell you why. Somebody's coming to take your life or take your family's life. We're talking about a life-altering situation. Does it matter that it's a woman or a man? Does it really matter? No, motherfucker. It don't matter at that point in time. And that's what all of these guys don't understand. I be talking boxing. I don't be talking shit, man. I never talk shit. I talk boxing. Real boxing. You can't look at your opponent and say, oh, it's a woman. I'm going to take it easy on her because society say don't hit women. In this case, you have to hit that woman. You got to hit her ass. She going to hit you. Okay? And a knockout is a knockout. You get dropped by a woman, you get dropped by a woman. And everybody be like embarrassed. Oh, he get dropped by a woman. Fuck that. I got dropped. Like I said, a very long time ago, I learned not to go down that road. I understand physically women are, yes, obviously, they're not as strong as men in terms of when you look at body mass and everything, you know, pound for pound, that is very true. Okay? But that doesn't mean that every man can kick every woman's ass. You got to look at what you're really dealing with. You got to look at that. Right? I told you, I said she could go 3 rounds. They disputing that. Oh, it'll be 2 or 1. Motherfucker, she spars guys all the time. What the fuck are you talking about? So, we're gonna follow up on that shit. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, I gotta step away from the camera for a minute. I'll be right back in a second, guys. Oh yeah, I finished cooking too, right? I gotta admit, if she ragtag try to scrap with Terrence Crawford though, she gonna get hurt bad. If she try to go wild and shit like how she tried to do with other women, she gonna get tagged. She got to fight her. She gonna have to fight him like how she fought Christina Hammer. And even if she's gonna be on the offense, she gonna get tagged if she mess up defensively. You better walk in there with a 2 guard. Because he will make you pay. Terrence will make you pay. I would love to see that though. 3 rounds. One thing I know is I don't think he Decker, but he definitely would. He would do well, exceptionally well, for sure. I think actually Terrence Crawford would do exceptionally well against a lot of fighters. Hence he's pound for pound. They call him pound for pound #1, not just Clarissa Shields. If you got a floor, he gonna jump on it though. He would jump on it. He'll jump on it. Yeah. Yeah, man. Those are the weekend fights. I'm a fan of Dimitri Bivol, but he has some work to do on his all-around game. I see Kathy Duva. Kathy Duva is his promoter. She's promoter for Sergey Kovalev. So if Sergey could beat Canelo, maybe they can have a Bivol fight. If Canelo beats Sergey, they still could have the Bivol fight. So Kovalev can have fights ahead for him in boxing. Excuse me for eating while I'm doing this. You think Monzon beats Canelo? That'd be a good fight. Monzon has a good jab, and he's faced some really good fighters. He knows how to time that jab pretty well. Monzon was a middleweight though. He'd be smaller than Canelo, and he almost got beat. People argue he got beat in his second to last fight. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. He had a good jab and power. If Monzon is fighting Canelo at this time, he'd be the smaller guy. He had been dropped by certain fighters. I think Canelo would study that. Intangible says, stop comparing men to women. Men will always be the dominant athlete because of the order of nature. Yeah, motherfucker, but there's weight classes for a reason, right? There are weight classes for a reason. Purna is way more skilled than any welterweight now. No evolution there. Purna had a unique style that we won't see again. Is he more skilled than Sean Porter? No. Sean Porter has more skills than Purna. Again, listen to what I'm saying. I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even understand what I just said. I'm gonna say it again. Sean Porter has more skills than Purna Whitaker. Anybody want to dispute me on that? I'm talking boxing. I don't talk out my ass. I talk boxing. That is to say, Sean Porter can do more things than Purna Whitaker. And he learned those things. That's more skill. And when you're talking about home skill, that's a totally different story. So I disagree with you that Purna is way more skilled than any welterweight now. He's not more skilled than Porter because Porter has more skills. I'll debate you on a stream tomorrow. Okay, cool. You'll host it? Cool, man. That'll be cool. Survival mode. You mean for Clarissa? Oh, man. If Clarissa puts Crawford on the back foot by gaining Buzz respect, I will show my face. I mean, look, I'm saying that she don't even have to gain his respect. Like, there's just certain things in boxing that you do. I don't think you understand. Hey, see, there's a lot of things in boxing y'all don't understand. Y'all always caught up in power. How you use a jab, you can back up a guy with a jab. It's how you use it. You saw Porter. Porter's not a heavy puncher, right? Everybody says so, at least. He's backing up Errol Spence with a jab. Right? And Chris has a decent jab. So, I mean, just the jab alone would back up Bud. It have nothing to do with whether she's gaining his respect or not. It may not be a tremendous punch, but it means something that pushes you back. It just pushes you back because you get popped with it. Canelo's a solid fighter, but he's not dominant. He's a lock to lose 4 or 5 rounds every fight. He's a what? Inu would stretch Clarissa inside of 30, 60 seconds. I don't know about that. the opposition that Inu has been facing has allowed him to do that. I don't think that Clarissa is that basic. Africans watch boxing. Yo, Usyk will be a heavyweight champ soon. He's better than some, if not all, the champs currently. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. The guy he faced was slow as fuck. So he was able to go around him and do what he wanted to do. You know, and the guy still touched him with a right hand. Yeah. Thank you, Filipino Heat. Happy Sunday to you too, brother. So I can't agree with that. And the test that he used, what kind of metric is that? I mean, that's nobody. That dude, Chad Witherspoon. Let me tell you guys a little bit about Chad Witherspoon, okay? Hold on a second. I'll pull it up. So I can't remember who knocked his ass out. He looks small in there. And Chad Witherspoon's a small heavyweight. And right. Chaz Witherspoon was stopped by Seth Mitchell. Seth Mitchell. Right? Seth Mitchell is the guy that got KO'd by Chris Arreola, by the trainer of Gennady Golovkin, Jonathan Banks, knocked his ass out. Just saying. Okay? Seth Mitchell. Okay? So, you know, it ain't really saying much. It ain't saying shit about this dude. Chaz Witherspoon. Okay. He was also knocked out by Tony Thompson. Tony Thompson. Y'all know who Tony Thompson is? Right? Luis Ortiz knocked his ass out. Malik Scott beat him. Carlos Takem beat him. Kubrat Pulev beat him. Vladimir Klitschko beat him. Vladimir Klitschko beat him. You know, he's like a punching bag. Everybody beats him. Okay? Just saying. So, Chaz Witherspoon was also beaten by Chris Arreola. You know what I mean? So, he not like, who did he get a win over? Nobody. He ain't got a win over anybody. All right, so, like, this dude was, like, absolutely the bottom of the barrel. 4 days notice coming in. Okay? I think Usyk was supposed to face Spong. I don't know what Spong's record was, if he was undefeated or what. But that would have been a better fight, I'm pretty sure. Spong's younger and everything. Chaz Witherspoon is 38 years of age. So, I mean, it was just a dud, a bomb to make Usyk look good. Got it? And the motherfucker actually retired. He quit. Okay? He didn't even knock him out. He quit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can't read too much into that. You can't really. It's a bummy fight, but it is what it is. When I see him face somebody like Joseph Parker, Dillian White, what's his name? Whatever the fuck the name of the person is. Chisora, somebody like that. Somebody that actually has been at the top tier level. Then we could talk. But that fight is like worse than a Steve Rawls fight. Steve Rawls, at least he was athletic and stuff. This dude not even, I mean, this dude is a working punching bag. Africans Watch Boxing says, who's better than Usyk? Right now? Everybody. Until proven otherwise. I mean, just imagine Deontay Wilder facing Chaz Witherspoon. How y'all would have just gone to town on him. Tyson Fury versus Chaz Witherspoon. Listen, Chaz Witherspoon's worse than Otto Wallen. And he's worse than Schwartz. You do realize that. I think Otto Wallen actually got a win over one of them guys that beat Chaz Witherspoon. I mean, come on now. It ain't saying much. So you beat a bum. Great. It don't mean he could face Wilder and those guys. It don't mean shit. And he looked like the smaller guy in there. He really did. The guy who was landing the more solid punches was Witherspoon. I'm just saying. It is the heavyweight division he's in now. African Watch Boxing said, isolated, who's better than him? I know size could be an issue for him, but I see skills. I don't see any other heavyweights. Everyone fights a nobody in the beginning, including the champions now. Yeah, but that is the nobody of nobodies. That's a nobody that is related to a somebody that's been beaten by nobodies. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Yeah, I was never enthused for that fight. I knew Usyk was going to knock him out, and he actually did not knock him out. The guy quit. Yeah. So, I mean, the dude's old as fuck as well. I mean, come on. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You know. Michael Hunter's also in the division, the heavyweight division. Maybe he could rematch Michael Hunter. I mean, he got names, man. He got people he could face, man. So I can't really make much of that fight. Like, it doesn't mean much. He couldn't even stop the dude. So, I mean, y'all talking about his skills. But again, like all Eastern European fighters, they both basically box on the outskirts and they go around and stuff. Usyk's not an infighter. To beat a Wilder, you need to be an infighter. You need to be an Otto Wallen. To beat Tyson Fury is huge. Okay? To beat him, you have to be an infighter. Right? Tyson Fury's a big, heavy-ass man. When he starts to bear down his weight on Usyk go... You understand what I'm saying? Usyk want to face Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is athletic and fast. Much faster than Usyk. Usyk won't know that he just be lying on the canvas looking up at the sky. Wilder could possibly kill him, actually, because he's not really a heavyweight. You can see Usyk's not a heavyweight. He's much more, I would say he's much more crisp, sharp, compact, accurate than almost all the heavyweights out there. The heavyweights out there are not like, they don't have that kind of coordination. Even Wilder, he's kind of sloppy. Tyson Fury's kind of sloppy. Anthony Joshua is too heavy set. You know? Andy Ruiz would kill him. He would kill Usyk. Andy Ruiz would kill him. Yeah, you forgot that Usyk's last fight was against what's that kid? Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew was tackling him at will. It's just Tony Bellew got tired. Right? I don't think that this fight indicates much about Usyk. Usyk should pick his opponents wisely. Talking about going after Wilder, I don't think so. You're not ready for. He's not ready for Wilder. From what I saw in his performance. You know, but I hear they're fighting for the WBO belt or something like that. That's what they're going to do. Which is weird because I thought Andy Ruiz has that WBO belt. All of a sudden, they stripped him or something? What's going on with that? How could Andy Ruiz be stripped of the WBO belt? He's supposed to rematch Anthony Joshua. So how come Andy Ruiz don't have the WBO belt? What is Eddie Hearn talking about? Why would they strip him? I don't understand that. Like I said before, the WBO, I don't know what's going on with them. You know, they reacted and made a statement on the PBC and how they're ducking Terrence Crawford. The WBO president should really deal with validated information, which he did not do. Okay? If that's the case, then the PBC fighters should not be fighting for WBO belts. But we know Clarissa Shields faced Christina Hammer, was a WBO champion on the PBC Showtime. So I don't know whether that happened this year. So what the fuck are they talking about? Besides Andy Ruiz, we got another PBC fighter in, what's the kid's name? He's an Al Heyman fighter, actually. I'm going to get him. He's at featherweight. He's a featherweight champion. He's the WBO featherweight champion. There we are. Jamal Herring. Jamal Herring's an Al Heyman fighter. Been fighting on the PBC. He's now with DAZN. And he's the WBO champion, so I don't understand what they're talking about. You know? Got a number of Al Heyman fighters out here. You know, so I mean, here's what it is. But yeah, Usyk, it didn't really say much about, I don't think, at least. He's supposed to call out the big champion, so I'm not really worried about that. But to say that he's somehow ready to face the champions and stuff, I don't think so. You know, hey, to each his own. To each his own. You know. Don't forget to smash that like button, people. I'm going in on an hour and 12 minutes and 49 seconds. That's awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to catch you guys later. I am what you need. I just talked and recapped the weekend's fights. Like I said before, I have to give you guys Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler and a couple other fights that are upcoming. So I'll catch you guys later, man. Yeah, if you guys want to debate, I don't know if I'll be home tomorrow on the stream, but we could debate that. But I'm not really interested in debating, man. Put all the bullshit aside. Let's see it. Let's see the actual fight. So I'm going to push for it. Because all this debating don't mean shit to me. I want to see the fucking fight. That's what I really want to see. I'm not into the bullshit anymore. Put up or shut up is what I say. Anyway, guys, you have a good one. God bless. Peace.